Welcome to the NOIRPOISED podcast, where wisdom is power is more than just a motto.
It's our way of life. While we don't claim to have all the answers, we're dedicated to delving deeper into different topics through meaningful conversations. As a duo, we bring different viewpoints to the table, enriching our joint journey towards growth and poise.
Join us as we explore and unlearn to relearn while striving to navigate life with poise. Welcome to the NOIRPOISED podcast. Thank you for listening. We appreciate each and every person who has clicked that play button. My name is Ruth.
And allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sam. It's a pleasure to partake or be a part of this journey.
And we've been married for about 4 years and change now.
Yep, 4 years going on 5.
Yeah, so we're fairly new at this married life, but we are excited to share some of our experiences through our personal growth, and our joint growth as we've been together, because we are very big on growing.
Yep.
And evolving and challenging ourselves to dig deep into some foundational issues or, things that may be affecting our day-to-day lives. So that's one of the things we've always done as individuals, and we are heavily doing in our marriage. So we're here to share that journey with you and hoping that you gain some knowledge as we're gaining some knowledge through our experiences and the perspectives of others around us. So NOIRPOISED is very special to my heart. We've sat on it for a couple years now, and we've stalled, and at some point we had to really just tell ourselves to start, and we'll figure it out as we go. So that's what we're doing. We're starting with no idea where this could take us, what it can do, who it'll reach, but we're starting it to be true to ourselves. We've noticed very early on that in-depth and hard conversations has really been a large part of our relationship and a large part of the relationships that we have with other people as well. So we realized that the conversations we were having with loved ones, unfortunately, were not being had on platforms as much as we feel like they should be had. And through many conversations with people in our lives, when family members or friends come over, we started to recognize how some of the conversations we were having were really important and necessary for our communities. I searched for different type of information that was similar to what we were discussing with some of our loved ones, and it was really difficult to find. Although there were a few out there, in my personal opinion, there just wasn't enough. And it then dawned on me how much some of these conversations that we were having on a regular basis can impact lives in a positive way, because it was impacting our lives in a positive way and impacting those that we were conversing with in a positive way. And I felt deeply in my heart that I had to take a step in using my voice in a type of way. Had no idea how that was going to happen, no idea where or how it was going to work. But I knew that Sam and I needed to use our voice to discuss some of these things that other people feel, other people go through, but have no one else to discuss them with, or feel like others don't comprehend what they're feeling. And that's basically the gist of how NOIRPOISED started off. It was just an idea. At first, I thought it was going to be a blogging thing. And then one day it just came to me. I was like, a podcast. I think it'll be a podcast. And anyone listening who knows us, this might come as a surprise to you, because we are super super private, super to ourselves. We don't have many friends. We are very private in every way, shape, and form of the word. We're not on social media. We are comfortable in our bubble.
Yep, very comfortable.
We really are. And that's why we sat on this for years, because we were comfortable in our bubble. But at some point, as we're going to talk about a lot throughout the season, we have to tap into our power and tap into ourselves and be authentic to who we are and who we're supposed to be. So that was something that I had to push myself into doing, is stepping out of my comfort zone in order to grow towards the person that I know that I'm meant to be. So this podcast, we just decided, let's just do it. Let's start it. Let's start it the best way we know how right now with what we have, with the resources we have. We don't have high-tech equipment. We don't have all of the, gadgets and stuff that people tend to have online these days. And I just want to warn everyone that we are going to be as true to ourselves and as authentic as we possibly can throughout this process. So we will not be doing it the way podcasts are quote unquote supposed to be. That's one thing I said. If we're going to do this, we're not going to follow the crowd. So as of right now, there is no video content. If you love what you hear, come back every week. But we're trying our best to do this in the most authentic way. And right now, this is what works for our relationship and for us.
As you said, we simply have a thirst for knowledge. We're firm believers that what separates the rich and poor, the people who are successful and people who are failing, is knowledge. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows that applied knowledge is wisdom, which is why our motto is wisdom is power.
Right. We literally live by that.
And what this essentially honestly feels like is we're still having the same in-depth conversations, except we're recording it.
Right. We're recording it and there's like a little snippet outline, but it's literally conversations we normally have late at night in our family room. And we were just like, let's just start doing this. Like, let's start recording some of these conversations. Let's choose a topic and let's talk about it. So that's basically how we're doing it.
I think one thing that definitely motivated me is the people who would come over and we would have these type of conversations with. Mm-hmm. I would see how it changed them. And more importantly, I would see how it changed us.
Right.
We always grew so much just from having these conversations.
Right.
And I think that's what really helped me develop a passion to do this. Mm-hmm. So we don't profess to be experts, or
not at all. We're
not
just
trying to tell you what to do. Right. We're simply having conversations between ourselves and recording it. So you will hear us share personal stories, give examples, just having real conversations that we're hoping will inspire you to do the same thing.
Right. And the meaning of NOIRPOISED, noir, if you don't know, is literally the French word for black. And poise simply means having a composed and self-assured manner, having a graceful and elegant bearing. And it also means balance. That's the gist of where the name came from. And that's exactly what we strive to be. We strive to be poised in every and any situation that we find ourselves encountering, because life is a mixture of ups, downs, left, rights, turns, upside downs. There are constant different seasons, but it's all about conversing through those seasons and growing in those seasons.
Right. I love that. Life is seasons.
Right.
And you don't dress for the summer like you would dress for the winter. You don't dress for the winter like you would dress for the summer. But if you're able to find some kind of balance, knowing when the seasons are changing, you'll find that you can have peace and success and abundance in almost every situation you're in. And that's what NOIRPOISED really means to me, is in this world where it's not easy being black.
No, not at all.
It's not easy finding balance between what's going on in your personal life and in the professional life. So one thing that we certainly want to share is our own journey through finding balance through all the ups and downs that life does have to offer.
And that's why we strive to encourage poise and empower minds. That's basically our purpose. We want to empower people to recognize that they have the power within them. They have all the answers. It's all about tapping into that power, doing the work that is required to recognize some of the things that are already within you. And we want to challenge people to recognize the change starts within them, and that everything that's internal will eventually create the external. So our purpose here is to have conversations that will make you look within and make you inquisitive about your past, inquisitive about your character and who you currently are and how you desire to be, how you view yourself, and recognizing how all of those things start from changing internally. And in changing internally, you will naturally find that the external will follow.
You literally create your own reality.
Yep.
And the conversations that you will hear us having, it's literally us just sharing our own knowledge and experience and sharing how the wisdom that we've learned and applied allowed us to create our own reality.
Create our own reality, create our own opportunities, and just change of mindset. Our goal is to really unlearn everything we've been taught in order to relearn some things that need to be learned, because there's a lot of things that we learn through society, family, or our upbringing that we don't recognize how much it does not align with who we currently are or who we want to be. But we continue to follow those trends and follow those things thinking that it's accurate. But sometimes you got to ask yourself, what is the purpose behind certain things? And you'll hear us discussing that a lot, is unlearning certain things and then having dialogue in order to try to figure out how to relearn the proper way. Again, we want to thank you for just being here and listening to this episode. It was simply just for us to give you a little background of who we are, what we stand for, what our goal is, what this podcast will be about. And we encourage you to join us. Join us in empowering your mind with us, encouraging poise in your life, living a way that will create the reality that you desire, and not just thinking it or saying it, but really doing the hard work, having the hard conversations, and applying that knowledge gained. And that's why our motto is
wisdom is power.
That's it. Wisdom is power. So join us every Thursday. There will be a new episode available on Spotify or any of the other streaming platforms that you utilize. We're also now on Instagram, so you can follow us. You can comment, like, share. If you have any suggestions, we are open to hearing out what you'd like to hear us talk about. And we're really excited. We're nervous. At least I am. You guys probably hear it in my voice, but it's a good nervousness because we are growing in a way I never thought that I would honestly grow. So join us. We're ready to grow with you. Thank you for spending your time with us. We hope you gained some knowledge today that'll promote poise in your life. We have new episodes uploaded every Thursday right here, same place, same time. Until next time, you can follow us on Instagram at NOIRPOISED Podcast to stay connected. That's NOIRPOISED Podcast. We'd love to hear your feedback.
And remember, your wisdom is power.